Hello, good to have you on the program again. This time, of course, it is the Polity on Kaftan Television. King Adewale Film Theatre Arts Network Television, that is Kaftan TV. And this day, we want to talk about the things that has to do with the polity. As I always say, that whenever we come on the program, the polity, it is the polity that we discuss. But then, of course, we say, in most cases, is the most current thing in the polity that we talk about. And this day, looking at the things that are very, very current, there are two things that are quite current we need to talk about out of a few of them. It's not just only these two. But all the same, I am Okechukwu Onubogu. While we go on, I'll let you know. Now, the first thing I want to talk about with someone that is my guest, that's also part of this house, is the INEC transition program. We, of course, have heard that, we do know that by December, the current INEC chairman's tenure would expire. And so he would need to be, there would be need for a transition, for a change. That's why we're talking about INEC transition program. But as is normal with such big or such top officials, before they leave, they take their annual leave, and even the ones they didn't take before, then they will take all these leaves, and from there, before they now eventually leave the office. So, but then, like we have seen, that there seems to be a program of such things, of taking the annual leave before the time to go. And some people have started saying something else, which is most likely not true in actual fact. People who want to get to make their stories move faster will want to say that the INEC chairman has been fired by the president and all that. All these are just talks. But then we know, we want to talk about all those things today. And even good to say what the INEC chairman's office has brought out for everyone to understand that we shouldn't listen to side talks that we know are not right. That's one of it. Then again, we know we've been told that electioneering has begun. That is, the campaigns have begun. And these campaigns are for the FCT Area Council. So there is, the election will be by next year, but then the campaigns have been permitted to move on from now on. So don't be surprised if you are in the FCT, you see them move around in their groups, campaigning, different parties campaigning. It is time. So they will do it because someone else will have to take over from those ones who are there right now. Well, these are the things we'll talk about. But I also want to let you know that I wouldn't be saying it alone because I said we, as you know. I've got in here with me a seasoned broadcaster and someone who is with me here, right here in this station, talking about Kaftan Television. He is also a presenter, a co-presenter on this program. He is here with me. As we go on, there is another guest we're still expecting to come into the program. But right now, I'll be sharing the moments with him. And when that guest comes, he comes in and sits in with us. But in his absence, we will do it without any problem. I'm talking about Segun Ojelade. Segun, good to have you on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Right, good thanks a lot. I'm very grateful that you're here. And so that's it. We'll be looking at these points we have mentioned. And first of all, let me not forget to let you know that soon we'll open up our phone line for you to make your calls because, of course, you are very important to us. That's why we always want to open up our phone line to hear your thoughts as well. Of course, you should have your say, even if it's not your way, but at least let's hear you say something the way you want to. And please, we'll try to make it as civil as possible, not insulting anybody here and not saying anything negative about anyone, but saying things with decorum. That's one thing we must not forget. Again, welcome. Uncle Shege, as I always want to call you my brother. There is INEC transition, that is the program that's going on now. How do we handle it? Looking at that transition today, it's going on and it's happening, and some people have said what they said. What do you think about that? And did you hear this other side that some people were talking that it could be firing?
The presidency has issued the man a kind of quick notice that he's been told to hand over. But we just like you said, we know what is going on. we should discountenance such bare parlor talks designed to probably gather crowd to whoever is writing his page on social media, or want an undue
so as to make more money, because of course when people watch, when people read, they make money.
Yeah,
so
yes,
they want
yes.
to
Yes, they make money.
Attract traffic to their posts.
To their posts.
Yes.
But again, this is the era of politics. There are some very smart Alex who want to play politics with everything and lashed in on so many things just to record their cheap political points. So you never can rule that out. Again, there are lazy journalists who once they pick up a hint, they just go to their computer or their phone and start conjuring stories from their heads. Yes, there are people like that. The INEC headquarters is here with us in Abuja. What costs any journalist from just walking around or just placing a call to those at the INEC hierarchy to find out exactly what is going on? I think what is going on in INEC today is in the public domain.
Yes.
We all know that the INEC national chairman his term is expiring in December.
Yes,
and so as it is in the public service rule, he has opportunity to say, I want to go on my 3-day in lieu of retirement. If 3 months. 3 months in lieu of retirement, he can take his annual leave. For the years that he has missed, he can, you know. And so many things can happen to ensure that we have this smooth handover from the incumbent to the incoming.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. And we should have his picture around because we know it's here.
Okay.
We should be seeing him as we're talking about him. We know that normally there is this process. Let me read what we have from his office.
Okay.
Rotimi Oyekomi. You know, Rotimi happens to be the chief press secretary
to the
CPS to Professor Mahmoud Yakub, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission. He has urged Nigerians to consult the 1999 Constitution. You know, as reported Thursday, September 25, by The Guardian and another. You know, Oyekomi gave the advice amid reports that President Bola Tinubu directed his principal to immediately proceed on leave. A report on Wednesday, that was yesterday, isn't it? Yesterday. Had said that Tinubu directed Professor Yakubu to proceed on leave ahead of the expiration of his tenure in October-November, which the report also said the Nigerian leader is set to nominate Yakubu's successor. However, reacting, the INEC chairman through his CPS asked Nigerians to check out the Constitution before drawing conclusions. He said, when quizzed on the veracity of the report, the first thing you need to do is to find out what the law says about the appointment and removal of the INEC chairman and national commissioners. The 1999 Constitution clearly outlines the process in section 154 sub 1, that's 1541, which states, except in the case of ex officio members or where other provisions are made in this Constitution, the appointment of a person to the office of the chairman or member of any of the bodies so established shall be made by the President and shall be subject to confirmation by the Senate. That is the Nigerian Constitution, also provides safeguards against arbitrary removal in section 1571. A person, I quote, he says, a person holding any of the offices to which this section applies may only be removed by the President acting on an address supported by 2/3 majority of the Senate, praying that he be so removed for inability to discharge the functions of the office, whether arising from infirmity of mind or body, or any other cause, or for misconduct. So people who are saying that the president has hired him, president has done this, they seem not to understand that it's normal for him to go for that leave. That's the thing that should be granted, you know. And then from there he proceeds to his entire departure from the office. He will still need to hand over effectively, do things the way it ought to be. So people should use the word, you know, we should stop talking nonsense. Permit me to say that's what he said. Some people would not want to just go on to bring up something that will make them make some money. That's all.
Yes.
Anyhow they think they can make the money, they just want to make it. And so many gullible people in this country will want to read. When I saw that thing, it says President fires, I said, look at this, who is this person writing this?
Writing this.
I just prayed that people would just ignore him. You know, but our people are so, I don't know, the kind of thinking.
Some people will just read the headline and then start talking.
Yes.
You know, that's why the cyber crime law must be very effective. This kind of nonsense now should attract some sanctions.
Yes,
but you know,
to trace the man and get him, whoever it is, and get him to understand that he has done.
These are the kind of stories that unnecessarily hit the polity. You know, you just create heat unnecessarily where there is none. I think it's a lazy hand or lazy brain, lazy individual.
Well, that is life. This is the way we've seen our country, that people get to be free to do things the way they like. Just as you said, really. Yes, I hope that the EFCC would have seen this, because they should go after such a person, or the Nigeria Police, you know, Nigeria Police Force, because there is a cybercrime section in the Nigeria Police Force. They can look for such a person. Of course, it's easy to trace whoever it is that placed it in collaboration with them.
But with again, if government acts on this now, for instance, if the FCC starts to investigate and then they are able to trace the person, and you hear the CSOs, all of them will be shouting on top of the and some human rights lawyers and say, the government is gagging the press and they are preparing grounds for 2027. You know, when your people are misbehaving, contravening the law, you did not call them to order. But when government
wants to now act right, you start shouting wolf, crying wolf, when nothing has happened. You know, well, our people need to really understand. We really need to understand. This is not the way it should go. We should be careful to do things the right way and follow the right thing. And I plead with people who read. You know, there is no money. Don't waste the little that you have, because many people don't seem to understand that when they open any of these things and read, they have just made money for the person that wrote that nonsense. And this is where people will be going for it, and it's not right. So let's be careful. There are things you will see and just ignore it, so it will be trashed by itself. Because when nobody ever goes there, the fellow may, in the first place, either get ashamed and knock it off, or let it be there. And if it stays without any traffic coming to it, the aim will be defeated. Because
this kind of stories will be very, very difficult to ignore.
Yeah,
especially in Nigeria of today, number one, where election seems to be everything. And then with a few days to the 2027 elections, you know, it will be very, very difficult for you to hear a news item coming from INEC and you say you will not just open it. When I saw it, I knew right from the outset that this is just one of those nonsense. But I say, let me open it and see.
Oh God, I never did. I said I will not open that thing.
Who is this statement going to be attributed to? Very, very important. Who is it going to be? But when you read the second paragraph and say, according to sources, I close the thing. with sources.
Yes, you closed it, but then that opening has given him some little change, you know. Okay, it's one of those things anyway. Now let's look at it. Some people are also thinking that it's as though the president is, but the president has the right to appoint somebody. Then he will send it to the Senate to approve before it goes on. And so I begin to, as always, Nigerians, we begin to speculate that it's either this or this. And I think from the president's body language, it's this man. The other one is this man. I don't need to bother my head about whoever it is that he will give it to. The important thing is that let whoever it is that is coming do his job.
Yes.
If that job is well done, Nigeria will be happy for it and better for it in the first place.
Yes.
And someone else had said that, what if the president decides to let him do it again? I say it's not possible.
No, it's not.
Because it's just a renewal of tenure. Yes. That's all we have. It can't be done. It cannot be done again. It's been done because this is his 10th now. Yes. So it won't be. It has to be someone else that will come. Now, let's ask, what kind of person would we be looking forward to seeing that will come in to be, or what kind of person are we expecting to have as the next INEC chairman?
Well, every Nigerian is qualified to be appointed as INEC chairman. That's the the most important one. It has to be a Nigerian. Number two, the person must not be a card-carrying member of any political party. Yes.
Okay.
All the other things are just secondary. Those two things are very, very important.
Yes.
But we know that Nigeria is not short of qualified and competent people that can occupy that office.
Yes.
Professor Mahmoud has done exceedingly. He did very well. The various reforms of INEC and election preparation and conduct, including the laws, the electoral laws now, all of them were put together under his watch. Professor Mahmoud has done very well. Before he became INEC chairman, how many of us knew him?
That's another thing.
So the same way he was fished out from his former position,
yes,
that's how a very credible individual too will come out
and take
but you see, in Nigeria today, no matter who the president chooses to be made the INEC chairman, you will still have some segments of the population that will say, no.
It shouldn't have been this one.
Shouldn't have been this one. So, if the man picks from the southwest, that would be a major uproar. He has chosen his brother.
Yes, to help him rig the election.
Yes, put him, bring somebody from the southeast. They say, okay, look at it now. Look at them. You have just shot yourself in the foot.
Yes,
they will not support you. It's going to work against you.
To use it as a tool through which you can get the vote of the southeasterners.
Now pick a northerner. Some people say, again, are they the only set of people that can?
Nigeria.
The guy was from the north. Now this one. Nobody will, even if there's
nobody else in the south.
Yes, even if he's from Kwara State, they will say he's still not. So, but I believe that in spite of all the other things that Mr. President needs to look at, the person must be a Nigerian. He must not belong to any of the political parties. Very, very important. And the man must have credibility.
Yes.
He must be a man of very good standing in society.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much. We will take a break right now. And by the time we will come in again, we will be bringing in that other guest we mentioned. He will be sitting with us and we'll continue with the program. And not quite long from then, we'll also open up our phone line to hear from our esteemed viewer. Okay, welcome back. Good to have you back again, and we'll be talking. We've been discussing the things that have to do with the INEC, and while we're getting towards the end of that particular segment, our guest who had been waiting outside really came in eventually, and so he is here. So I want to say that apart from myself and Segun, there is Samaila Musa.
Yes.
Samaila Musa happens to be the national coordinator of the Grassroots Mobilization Initiative. He is also the ex-director of Strategic Communications, a coalition of northern groups. So he is here with us. We will talk and let's get to know his own ideas concerning these 2 points we have for today. Samaila, good to have you on the program.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Looking at the thing we are saying, the INEC chairman will be taking leave of the office soon because his duration, the first 5 years have gone and the second one is concluding. So he will soon be leaving. So looking at all that, though some people had said that he has been sacked, which is people who are misinformed, I would say. And in actual fact, even some people that even wrote it on the social media, they are not misinformed or uninformed. They are well informed,
yes.
But they just chose to
Mischief.
twist the matter. Yes, mischief makers. Thank you. And so, what do you think about all that?
Yeah, well, I think the man has served his tenure very well because I must commend him for what he did. I mean, it's not just about one performance. He's conducted 2 presidential elections.
Yes.
And funny enough is that some persons who felt he did absolutely excellent in 2015, or was it 2019 when Jonathan versus Buhari?
Yes. Yes.
So during the last election, they felt no.
Yes.
Now he was not the same Mahmoud.
Exactly.
You understand? So it's all about which side of the divide are you, whether it favors you or not. Some persons, when Jonathan lost the election, felt he must have compromised because it's a northern affair, blah blah blah, and all of that castigated him. In fact, we saw how some persons in the form of Mr. Is it Orubebe? He's called the former minister went there.
Though that one was under.
It was under Jega. Sorry, it was under Jega.
Yes, but then after that,
it was after that. But by and large, it was that some persons felt he did well during the first presidential election.
Yes. The one that made Buhari to come in for a second time. Yes.
And then now that
the one that brought in Asiwaju.
Especially the keyboard warriors.
Exactly.
Went to town, went to work, and castigated him, called him all sorts of names. Well, whether he's there or not. But you see, largely, and this is to say to whoever is coming in as well, is that it's just like Nigerian police or whatever, any other parastatal or ministry or viable organization you can talk about that is holding this country as one, is that one man cannot make that institution. I was sitting, me and 3 other friends were sitting with the former president, and he said, if they want to make a mockery of you, and I've said it even on in the studio, that let them just give you Nigerian police to go and rejig it. Because you have different personalities who are joining the police, both people who are patriotic, both people who feel, no, that's an avenue for me to make wealth, get kickbacks, and all that.
Get even with
so when you're trying to bring in some revolution into that system, your major problem will be people who already made up their mind that they are coming in for the corruption.
Yes.
It's difficult to change because these are adults who already have their minds formed by whatever ideology, and then you are there as either the head or whatever. But you see, the people who do the main thing, and like they always say in politics, even is people working in the ministry. Civil servants are the one teaching politicians how to steal money.
Exactly.
Yes.
So whoever is coming in as the next INEC chairman will be there as a chairman. Some other persons will go and conduct either a by-election or whatever election in the states, and they will compromise the system. But the onus fall on the chairman. I mean, he has to take responsibility for whatever goes wrong under him. So, and that's the problem. But it is high time we begin to call a spade, so that we'll be able to fish out the bad eggs around, amongst us. Because if you notice that an election took place in your state, for example, and the chairman or whoever professor, now we know is professors that have been sent over from different universities, returning officers, has compromised. Please leave the chairman out of it. And we are saying it not because it's this person that is there now. Tomorrow it can be anybody that is there. But it's there in Abuja, overseeing whatever is going. He did not see what the returning officer did with the governor or whoever.
Never sent him bad errand.
You understand? And then he went there, conducted what he needed to conduct, but you keep saying, oh, he's the chairman. In fact, you will neglect the person, the professor who, after doing all the studies and becoming a professor, decided to drag himself in the mud. You will not leave him out of it.
And be calling for the head of the chairman.
You understand? Who doesn't even know? He doesn't have to follow them. I mean, it doesn't make sense for the chairman to follow every returning officer to every state. It's simply because we had some disparity in the timing of elections, and that's why we're having some states having election not during the general elections.
The off-season.
You understand? So if we're going to have a general election, you don't expect the chairman to be everywhere at the same time. It's me and you, because the people who are there today, either return officer, they are the product of Nigeria. They are not from Togo. You understand? So what it simply tells you is that it is a product of who we are as a nation. And that's a sample. So you can find that in every strata. Everywhere you go, in every facet of life in Nigeria, you will find people like that who will compromise, and you will find the good people. So Nigerians it's not like, oh, totally Nigerians are bad or whatever, or Nigerians are, but we're just being represented in every facet of life in Nigeria, and that's just a summary of who we are as a nation.
Okay, thank you so much, Samaila. We will still continue with this, but I want to mention the second point, so we'll just look at it, and then we can return to any of the two, to this or continue with that. And of course, when we still open our phone lines, which will be in a few minutes from now, they can call and refer to any of the 2 points we're discussing. That second one is the Federal Capital Territory, the FCT Area Councils, Area Council elections that will soon be coming. This lasts every 3 years they do and all that. So it's about time for another one. And the FCT is, of course, as we all know, the Federal Capital Territory of Nigeria, and the place that has 6 area councils. 6 area councils. Of course, in actual fact, if you say 6 local government areas in FCT, you're not wrong. It's just that because it's not a state, they are now making reference to it as area councils. We have the Abaji Area Council that is looking at it using looking at from one section. The Abaji is located in the southwestern part of the FCT, and it is the farthest from the city center. Abaji is the farthest from the city center. When you are coming into Abuja from Lokoja, when you get to Abaji, you say, you will now breathe if you're driving or if you're in a vehicle, and you say, at least we are coming home. We are getting close.
Almost enough.
Yes, almost there. Yes, and then when you now start moving, you get a little closer, and you get to this ones you've just mentioned. Then we have the Buhari Area Council, situated in the northeastern part of the FCT, and it includes the suburb of Kubwa and Dutse, as you're coming in. We also have the Gwagwalada Area Council. Gwagwalada is the one that is next to the first one I had earlier mentioned, that is the Abaji. Yes, and then you look at the Gwagwalada one. The Gwagwalada Area Council is, of course, a densely populated administrative and residential area, and it's located near the capital city. It's near, but of course, it is not in the city. It's near. Among the suburbs still. Then we have the Kuje Area Council, the suburb situated to the west of Abuja's city center, the Kuje area, of course, where we will not forget That's why we have the Kuje prisons. Kuje Correctional
the
Center.
Famous,
famous Correctional Center, Kuje.
Mm.
You know, that's where it is located. Then we also have the Kwali Area Council, located in the southwest, and it's bordered by the Gwagwalada and Kuje councils. That is the Kwali. And then, of course, after all that, we have the AMAC, the Abuja Municipal Area Council, which is the city center, which is the main one that everybody talks about each time. It governs the central and the developed parts of the city of Abuja. That's the AMAC. People would always, when you're in the FCT, you're in AMAC, you know, and that one going towards Nasarawa ends up with Nyanya. Nyanya and Karo. Yes, that's how it ends. This side is Nyanya, the other side
and
is
I think
Karo.
all this Jikoi, Karshi, and
those ones are inside, yes, and all part of, they're all part of it. So that's it. And the area councils will soon be agog. There will be bustling everywhere because INEC has officially announced that time for election has come, that they should start. And that the election will be next year, early next year. So that's why they will start now, because they normally do elections, I said 90 days or 120 days, between 90 and 120 days. You don't, yes, there's a duration, yes. So from there it just goes on. So soon we'll start hearing it all over the FCT and the elections. Someone would ask, what are these area council chairmen even doing? You know? And it's just like asking also, what are the local government chairmen doing in their states? It's all work. They're all doing something. It's just that everyone has got his own share. Like the primary education is taken care of by the local area councils, just like local governments do. And tiring of local roads is also part of the local government, and even the markets, management of local markets and all that, things like that. And there are some local health facilities that they also manage. But whoever that is in charge determines what happens. You know, some time ago, looking at the FCT as a body, we used to have ministers. We still get to have ministers anyway, but there are ministers that came in and nobody ever saw whatever they did. And the one that is there, and everybody see what he's doing. So it is with local government and the FCT area councils that we have had, I mean, these chairmen in these area councils. Have you heard about them? And which of them do you think has even made impact? As I said, the FCT today, nobody will say that he doesn't know about Wike. Like him or hate him, it's your business. But he has done something.
Yes. Is that a question to me?
Yes, you can ask.
Okay, so I think we need to start from the preliminaries.
Yes.
You see, just like other states, I don't think in the history of Nigeria in recent times there have been a chairman that emerged on his own because he's a grassrooter, blah blah. He was not endorsed by the governor, and he became a chairman. Really, I've not heard it. It's very rare, if at all, that
if it has ever happened.
Even at the state levels.
Yes.
So these are anointed. It's just an offshoot of the governor.
Yes.
Oh, go and represent me there.
Yes.
We dish out to you what we want. That's what has been happening, honestly. You
local governments in this country. All the
74 local governments.
They are just stooges of the state governors.
Yes.
So and I'm not expecting it to be anything different in the FCT. And that is not to say you want to blame Wike for it. It's a norm. Because if you want to say, oh, let's start, you need to go back to the basis and begin to correct the wrongs from even the so-called states, not to call before you start talking about FCT as a place. You understand what I'm saying? So it's been a norm. It's just an offshoot of the state, government house saying, oh, It's just like when an emir has district heads, he appoints them.
Yes.
And that's what's been happening. Before you become a chairman in any local government, and your state governor is not the one who anointed you.
It's so difficult to ever
That would be a miracle.
It will be.
You understand?
And it will never happen.
Yeah. So to begin to judge them based on performance will actually be wrong, because you're taking the indices from the wrong perspective in the first place. Yes, it's whatever the governor wants to happen in any area that's going to happen. But slightly we're going to have some difference now that there's local government autonomy. Perhaps some of them might start raising their shoulders, knowing that they don't need to go cap in hand begging the governor before they can get. We saw recently in Kogi State how some local government chairmen are always in Abuja because there's nothing for them to do in their local government. They can't even approve anything that is worth 1 million naira as a contract in their local government. The governor will dictate what happens. So really, it's more or less of an appointment. You work with the budget of what the state is providing for you and all that. But you know, Nigeria being what it is, everybody just want to be at the corridor of power, holding one position or the other, even though some persons who are proud of themselves, what they've achieved, will also succumb to that or come to that level to say, I still want to contest. I don't care if the man is dishing out handouts to me every month. At least I'm getting something, I'm making something. Not because you have the interest of the masses at heart. So that's a problem on its own. So, but coming back to your question about the FCT, you see, left to me, I would prefer a situation where we allow the indigenous people of the FCT to begin to take their fate by their own hands and begin to feel like they are Nigerians. You've taken the lands from them. Virtually or literally everything has been taken away from them. And not even the governance of their constituencies is just in the hands of few of them who are indigenous people of Abuja, who are baggy people who are still holding such position, you know what I mean? So really, we need to begin to look at it holistically to say, okay, other states, we understand how it goes. If you are a non-indigenous, you emerge, it means you're really popular. But in the FCT, what is the population of the indigenous people? I'm sure the non-indigenous have taken over the population. You understand? Yes. So they have been disadvantaged, have been issue. And that will not make them, because the city center, talking about from central area to Maitama to Gwarimpa and all that, it's not the indigenous people anymore. They were in those places before, but they have been displaced. So in those places, in those hinterlands where they are now, you need their people to understand what they are going through to develop those areas. Not somebody who will emerge here, pack the money and take it to his own home state somewhere else. You understand? So there's a need to look into that thing. FCT, yes, it has come to stay, but then there are people who are occupiers of the place. You understand? It's not like saying, oh, now because Nigeria is a member of ECOWAS, ECOWAS can now dictate on how Nigeria is going to be governed and all that. It's not fair. You can use some constitution that is formed by maybe 5 people in one room. Probably drunk at the time they were even making those laws. Yes, but, you understand? But that's not fair.
But Samaila, there's something. You know that this using FCT, I mean, for an instance, in the FCT, it's true that we have the people who are the original people. Very soon we'll start referring to them as the aborigines. You know, when he stays a little longer, that's what will happen. Now, we have them. But then there are people who have been here from the very onset, from the moment of development, since Babangida, because you know, the one that came over. Since he started
brought FCT back.
Since then, some people have come from
even before he came.
Even before he came. But even from that moment he came, people came in because from that moment, this place became, let me not use the word no man's land. It becomes all men's land. You know, it belongs to all of us now because this is the Federal Capital Territory. So anybody from anywhere, as far as you're a Nigerian and you're based here for a while, you can contest. So they are no longer looking at, but I understand what you're saying. You know, it would be good to also give a little concession to the people who have been here, the aborigines originally.
Let me say something. I think every one of us will be very, very unfair to the original inhabitants or the owners of the land in Abuja. Everywhere you go, you see the Gbagi people or other tribes. They are still the ones living in shanties and squalor.
Yes, we have the Gbagis and the
Gbaris.
Yes,
we have come with our huge money and then we took over their lands and we pushed them to the corner. Go to areas like Dutse, areas like Buhari and the rest of the highbrow areas of these satellite towns are occupied by non-indigenous. You know, but I don't blame the indigenous for selling the land. In fact, you see them. There was a particular day. Went to a pharmacy to buy some drugs, and one guy came in, was holding letter. I knew the way he came in, the way he went to the owner of the chemist that this must be Egbagi man, landowner
that wants to
sell, has come to serve letters, you know, about the land, about you know, that's where they are. They collect rents, they collect royalties. But the buildings, the economic activity in the area is so once we have taken all that from them, we've taken their land, the economic activity, we push them to a corner. Education, they are not as educated as many of us that are coming in to join them. We should concede.
Though we still have many of them who are getting very well educated.
Of course, we should concede to them.
At least the one closer to the grassroots.
Yes, in elections like this, local government elections. We should
okay, I agree with you. I agree with you.
And I want to say that you know, it is their leaders that I blame.
Because some occasions the leaders will just come and get position or get paid.
You cannot blame them outrightly. You know why? You know why, sir? Please.
Okay.
It is their leaders that I blame.
Okay.
There are some of them.
Just in a minute, tell us.
Yes, the politicians among them. I know some of them. They are the ones that are very close to government. Very close. They too have been there before. So they are the ones that should galvanize, mobilize these people, and then talk to government to ensure that in the local government elections, some concessions must be given to the indigenes. You can't have a local government election under the councillors, the chairman, substantial number of them are non-indigenous.
Okay.
What are the political leaders doing?
That way we could as well start thinking about having such a thing included in the constitution, just as they're trying to do for the women now. You know, trying to say give women this chance, this opportunity for about 15 years. Let's see how it works. We do that for these kind of people too. So it could be part of it.
That's the advocacy. You see, because the problem with the part of FCT is different from you can only succeed in a minority area of Nigeria.
Yes, sorry.
It can happen, and that's why you have that fight between Yoruba and Igbo in Lagos. You can't go to the north and begin to lord some things over the indigenous of the place. It's not going to happen. You can't go to the southeast and do the same thing. These are the major tribe. So you can only succeed with that in a minority area.
Yes.
And it's high time we begin, because sometimes you keep bottling these problems, and later on when agitation starts, you say, oh, there's insecurity in Nigeria. Because some people are angry, you are not addressing their grievance right now when it's happening until it gets to a crescendo, and then it's already out of hand. Because when you look at all the hierarchy of power in FCT, the minister, you didn't concede to them. The senator was not conceded to them. House of Rep was not conceded to them, for example. And then you come back to the grassroots, all the chairmen are already also speaking.
Yes,
because they have been overpowered. They have been I mean, the population, they can't match even if they say, oh, we want to stand our ground, they can't even match the population. So, and when you talk about, oh, their leaders sold the land, and they don't have any choice. Because the federal government of Nigeria as a republic owns every land. Whoever owns it is leasing it.
Yes, that's
so when the federal government says, no, we are taking over this place, we're giving you X and Y, Z to relocate to. You don't have any choice. You can fight it for a while, but it's not going to hold any water.
Though
so
we still have, like in Nyanya now, there is a village, there's Nyanya village. There are some of them, I know, stay there. In Gariki, there's Gariki village. They are the owners of that area. They are still living.
You know the story. You know the story of that Gariki too.
Yeah,
no, I don't.
No. Before we go on, I want to say that we would. I also want to mention that that of the local government elections, as we were saying, the area council elections. It was just yesterday that the INEC, Independent National Electoral Commission, announced it. And that was Wednesday, September 24, 2025. And it will run until midnight on Thursday, February 19, 2026. Just 2 days before the election scheduled to hold on Saturday, February 21, 2026. So that's it. There are so many things concerned about it that we know, but just do know that from now on, they are permitted to carry out their campaigns, though the commission cautioned political parties and candidates and their supporters to strictly adhere to the provisions of the law throughout the campaign period. It's a normal thing. We'll still see it. But please permit me, I want to say, dear viewer, it's time to have you on for you to come and say what you think about these topics we have today: the transition, INEC transition, and the FCT Area Council elections. And I must say, these FCT Area Council elections will still continue with this talk for a while, because it has just come on and we can't push it away. It has to be in the front burner mainly within this period. So don't be surprised that you'll hear it again within next week, and even it could still come up again this week. It depends. So just know that we'll have it. And on this note, I must say that it will be good to have you back here, Samaila. It will be good to have you here because we're going to talk some more, and some other people that you know that will also be useful here. Right. So please do call in. Call and let's know what you think about it. We are waiting. We want to hear you so that we know that we are with you and we are on the same page, if you like. Say what you think, or tell the world about it. Yeah, please, you can continue.
I
wanted to tell us about
on the area council election.
Yes.
I want to say that just like you said, all the
74 local government areas.
Yes, they are the same. It is just in the nomenclature that the area councils, local governments in FCT are called area councils. It's always hotly contested. But just like you said, the place is populated by...
Yes, please, there's someone that's here.
Okay.
Let's find out who it is. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah?
Yeah, good afternoon, Captain.
Good afternoon, welcome. Yeah. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Okay, my name is John from Abuja.
Okay. Go ahead, John.
I want to speak regard to the transition of INEC chairman.
Go ahead.
INEC, we call INEC Independent National Electoral Commission, which is saddled with conducting free and fair election for the Nigerian people. But for the institution itself now to be having their leader, their chairman, to be elected or to be appointed by the president, I don't think they are independent, because the president is the one that gives him that seat. So he wants to do the bidding of the president and not the bidding of the people. And you and I know in this country that election in this country has never been fair. And if we want to get this right in this country, there must be a method of allowing INEC to get their own leader, so that they are standing for the people of Nigeria, not for any president. But when we allow the president, when the president is the one responsible to appoint the leader, he begins to do the bidding of the leader, and all the people under that institution becomes answerable to him. They do what he says. So there's no how we can get election, free and fair election in this country, if the president will be the one appointing our INEC chairman. That is just what I want to talk about.
Thank you so much, John. John, it's your say. But we just need to also say that, thank you so much. Yeah, we're glad. Just listen and get to hear us. I just want to say that what John is saying is just, as I said, his opinion. But then there is also the need for us to mention that, yes, the president will appoint, but he doesn't have automatic power over it. He doesn't have, let me use that word, executive power over it. That's why it's difficult to call people executive governors of states. They are not executive governors in Nigeria because they are the head of the executive, but they are not executive governors. Because if someone becomes executive governor, he's the one that's in charge. But here, the president will appoint, but he would send it to the Senate, to the National Assembly. If they don't agree with that, it won't work. So that's what I want John to also hear. But let's listen to Jibril. Jibril is calling. Jibril is here in Abuja. So Jibril, welcome.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm calling from Abuja.
Yes, I know.
Good afternoon, Captain TV.
Yeah, good afternoon again, Jibril.
So I'm very happy with all your audience there.
Yes.
We talk about the area council, senator, councillor, so that's what we were saying that time. Please, in Nigeria, there's no law. You know, I know. Or if you say you don't know, I will give 2, 3, 4 observations to tell you that there's no law. It's not, due process is not follow. So Nigerians should be very careful in this councillor so that they should remit it to individuals. Councillor, chairman, and even some of the reps. Because if you don't do that, in Nigeria, the governor, no state that you go there that they do election that governor will never take the day. In Nigeria, the governor, somebody will say that he put governor there. One person out of 3 million, he say that he put him there. And he make sure the whole people fall. After the bid and done, trouble come, they say go on dialogue, go on due process. So that is why I love the way the man in the center there. They should remit it to them. No need for everybody to fight it. That is that area.
Thank
why
you.
I say there's no law. They don't follow the due process. Court say that. I want to give you one example. Court say that Natasha should go to 6. Senators say no, they have their own law. Another day when it comes to them, they say court say in the case the court. You didn't follow due process. And why should you go this way? Now these people don't come there now. When they turn to anarchy now, how are we going to do? All of them run away.
Yeah, but they've eventually allowed her to come in.
No, yes, that is why we are using the leg now.
Yeah. Thank you.
Not just say that we are paying, making no come.
Okay.
Now this I heard somebody in a yesterday. He was saying that if there's something they do about you, you should tell their grandpapa that they cannot forgive them. If they don't forgive them, they use force. If they come here, they cannot do. They will go and block their road. And their road now, from any country to northeast, Abuja, everywhere, nowhere you can pass without passing that road. They block that road. If they land, they can't kill all of them.
Okay.
So you see, that is how you have to plead. When they hear, I tell them like that.
Thank you so much, Jibril. Jibril, thank you so much. And Samaila, of course, is on the same page with you concerning that one, and we'll still continue. Yes, please, let's continue.
Okay. I want to say that on the INEC INEC chairman that somebody just mentioned, there has been calls like that the president should not be the one that appoints the INEC chairman because it's no longer making that office independent, and that the man will dance to the tune of Mr. President, especially during elections. Well, personally, I don't really think so. Just like you said, the National Assembly is the Senate. They stay there to screen the man, and then it goes through rigorous debate, questions and answers. If a 2/3 majority of the House does not pass him, he doesn't become the INEC chairman again. Even if you decide that INEC should conduct an election for people who want to be INEC chairman, at the end of the day, only one person will be picked.
That will say something.
Yes, only one person will be picked, and that one person will be a Nigerian. And at the end of the day, there will still be some people that will say, no, he's not the right candidate. In fact, the election that brought him to office was skewed. So you can't place Nigeria. Once the Constitution says something, we should all file behind the Constitution and ensure that the best of the candidates emerges.
Yeah.
That's what we should be. You are going to still hear more of these calls. Especially in the build-up to the announcement of the substantial. Yes, you are still going to be. Like I said earlier, we never knew, at least many of us never knew Professor Mahmood.
Yes, until he came
from
in.
anywhere until he came in, and the man did his level best, and the man did creditably.
Okay, you were saying something. I remember the concessionary thing, that should be, that's the indigenous should get some concession. Or do we give a concession, or should the concession be total, or because what I'm saying is that Jibril said the same thing, but he was saying that all the councillors should be from the place. It can't be possible. So
no, that cannot be possible, and that's why at the upper echelon of the power thing, you need to make concessions. Because if I live in an area in FCT that does not have one single presence of a Gbagi man, we are not going to go and bring a Gbagi to become a councillor in that
because
area.
he doesn't even know what's happening there.
You get what I'm saying? So, but by and large, if you make concessions at the upper, it means they are still overseeing what happens in
Even
their
where they are.
original land, and they feel sense of belonging. They are Nigerians, and because all of us still, sometimes when you have crisis of identity, there's a problem.
Yes, there is.
And when you refuse to address some of these issues now, it will get to the time where you have in the entire FCT, there's no single chairman that is a Gbagi man. The agitation keeps building up, until it becomes a problem, becomes a national security issue. That's when we now started calling people to a round table to have a discussion. Why not address it tip it at the board? You understand what I'm saying? So that it does not become an issue. There should be something, even if it's one office that says, oh, the highest office holder in FCT is going to be to the indigenous person. That way they still have sense of belonging, that this is where we originated from, even though other things have been taken away from us. But that one, me as a Gbagi boy born in 2025, by 2050, I should be aspiring to that office, the highest office in the land of where I come from.
Yes.
You understand? Because this thing can't happen in other places, and that's the truth of who we are as a Nigerian. Yeah, we want unity, we want this, we want that, but you keep bottling issues. And the same thing is, we're just combating the one in Niger Delta, where some people feel the resources is taken away from their own, it's been taken from their place, and there's less development, or they are not being carried along on how the resources is being expended. So there are things you need to really sit down and look into it and say, look, the FCT was forced on them. It wasn't like they called for it, come and take our land.
You know how we can do, you know how I think it can be done. Although constitutionally we can't go into the constitution, just like we want to do for the women now, giving them concessionary seats. Say, okay, in this house you have so number of seats reserved for women. But what can be done in the FCT is by the local government and by the political parties. The political parties fielding candidates for election.
But those ones are never fair now.
And that's exactly what I'm saying.
The government needs to come to force them to do it.
Yes, the
current local government chairman.
The local government,
FCT local,
the political parties. The political parties can decide, especially to say that for FCT, at least 5 of the 6 chairmen aspirants for we come from indigenous
the parties
people.
Cannot do it. You know why? If all the parties do it, and I go to maybe Zenith Labour Party, and I emerge as the chairman, your arrangement does not concern me. I fought a party last year, and then I emerge, and then you are telling me that I should leave it for another. You understand what I'm saying? It has to be enforced from somewhere. That's the truth.
But we can't. The constitution cannot be.
It can be revisited. That's the reason why they are paid to be in Abuja. A lot of them don't have any business in this town. They have been paid. Some people voted them to come and represent them here. That's why they are called lawmakers. When your term of 4 years expires, you leave. So if the people are saying this is what we want, this is what we help the country to grow or to be more united, look into it and try to look at the law. The law is not cast in.
I think the situation with the indigenous people of Abuja, I think is better now, much better than, now that they now have a permanent secretary at the federal level.
Yes,
and there are others aspirants.
Directors
they have directors coming up now. In the past, it wasn't like that. And then for many years, Philip Aduda was the senator.
But the tsunami that is moving now is taking everybody off balance and displacing them.
I think what happened the other time will not happen again.
This will not be a tsunami.
It will not happen again.
Yes, let's talk about that tsunami. Yes, talk about it. Because I need to. Is it?
It was a tsunami of Labour Party of Peter Obi that made a lot of people to become what they are today.
Yes.
It happens during Buhari. Yes. The most riffraffs in some societies. Yes. The most known entities became something, and they didn't do nothing.
They didn't do anything.
You understand?
They eventually went back to the main party.
And that's why I keep telling people, you have your candidate that you feel can reject this nation. Go for him. Don't let it affect other good people who are in your constituencies and say, oh, he must go down the line. Some people that they are just opportunists. Privileged to be under this party of that good man. And then you allow that to now deny you of good governance at the constituency level. It shouldn't be so.
My brother, that's democracy for you.
I know. That's what we are trying to exercise.
That's the dark side of democracy.
Yeah.
That's the dark side.
We can look at the good side of it and try to make amends.
That's the weak points of democracy where the people will have their say. Democracy.
So sometimes you also, because that's why when you are a perception or opinion molder, what you're saying can go a long way in trying to make people see reason why it shouldn't be this way. Because if I know this man is a thief, simply because he went to Labour Party does not guarantee him.
Of course, it will not change him.
But it does not change him.
The other thing that is painful to me is just, as you mentioned a bit of it, even those who did all that and they came into the National Assembly, they have all joined the major political parties.
Of course, that's to tell you their true color.
Yes, they have become what. All these things. So it doesn't really matter. These days, the best thing we're saying is make sure that it is the good man that you vote, and ensure that when he gets there, he wouldn't allow himself to be swept off his feet to get to the other side because he must join the others. That's wrong.
In democracy, it will be very difficult. Yes. When people are moving en masse.
And then he was
so why we are here is that we need to let people know we can't be moving like we are.
They should not be moving like that. Yes.
Once the front one is moving towards a moving train, all of us will
everybody must go there. No, it is wrong.
Be. And that's why we need to
there is need for opposition. There is
that's the truth. For it. Oh, we have one good man that can do this one. Yes. He's in social party because and even him himself is in that party because there's no room for him in this party. Let him go there. We will vote for him at that place. But at this level, this one we certify him that is a good man. Let's vote him. That's what we are saying. And that's what can make the difference, honestly. Because you can't, even the president cannot fix anything in this country.
He cannot
fix. The work of all the people serving in that government and including we as citizens. We have a role to play to make a difference.
Well, incidentally, let me mention this last bit. The local government, the area council chairman, it's only one name that I really got to know within all these past 3 years that they have stayed. The ones that are already there. It's only one of Amak, Kalangu. That's the only name I know. And that's the only one I've seen that he has done some work, one area or the other, because I saw some tarred roads in some areas of Nyanya, and I was asking, they said, it's Kalangu that did that. You understand? Solid tarring, not just any kind of tarring. And there is a radio station that is working right now. It was this same Kalangu that brought it on. And I hear, I don't know, that was at least the last time I heard that he was even working on getting to also create a TV station here under Ahmad. So such a thing is good. And he was paying his workers very, very effectively.
But I'll tell you one thing that can also be responsible for that.
Yes.
Sometimes it's a function of resources available. There's no local government that can be as rich as AMAC in the FCT.
In the FCT, okay.
No, there's none.
But then there could be some others who will still take that position and will do half,
of course,
or less than half of what he has done.
Absolutely.
Yes.
He has done very well.
Yes.
What he has done is that he has made use of the resources available to him to bring good governance to the people.
Yes.
Which is commendable, really.
Yes. Honestly,
and you cannot be AMAC chairman and then go to sleep.
No.
Number one, you have the resources, more resources than others, and secondly, there are so many people that are watching what you are doing.
I want to tell
including Mr. President too.
I want to tell you, before him there was one that was known that was called Candido.
Yeah.
I didn't see
Gisalu.
Candido.
Yes, Candido.
He was his predecessor.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything they pointed to say that this was what Candido did.
And
so
I think it's high time.
Even before him, there were
Sorry, now that you brought this
them.
topic, we need to start talking about people who have led in the past, who have done wrong, whether they are dead or alive. We have to talk about them.
Yes,
and so it's a lesson to the people who are alive to know that if you didn't do the right thing, even when you die, we will still talk about it that you have done
it
wrong.
will be seen, because what we see.
We had an FCT minister before Wike in this town.
Who nobody saw what he did.
Killed this town. Wherever he is, I wish he can be listening to this program.
Nobody saw what he did.
The worst performing minister in the history of this town.
Of this FCT.
He returning money. He vast and the fastest growing city in the whole of West Africa.
Yes.
He returning money. You didn't see anything to develop with the money given to you.
You have to return
it every year. And people are giving him kudos for returning money.
For not working with the money you were supposed to use to work.
So we need to talk about
these things
so that they know if you refuse to do it, when you leave, we talk about it. Even if you die, we talk about it.
Yes.
Buhari is dead today, but yes, what he did not do, we're still talking about it, and nobody can stop us from talking about it. So it's a lesson for the people who are alive today. You have the opportunity to fix it. If you refuse to do it, we're going to talk about it.
Well, this is how we'll be rounding up. I thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
But someone just called and I just said, let me give him 30 seconds. Yes?
Okay.
Hello? Oh, it's gone. Thank you. Thank you for going, because I don't even have much time again. Well, this is how we'll be rounding off this program today. I hope you enjoyed being part of this program. We had talked about the INEC transition, and now we've just concluded with the local government elections, the area council elections in the FCT, which I said will still continue. In fact, the 2 points we'll still continue to talk about because they are quite current and they are still running, so we'll go along with them. And I've had Samaila Musa, the National Coordinator of Grassroots Mobilization Initiatives. So that's why I said I need to have him more, because he will tell us more about these things happening in the grassroots, and we'll talk about it. And Samaila, I want to thank you, ex-Director of Strategic Communications Coalition of Northern Groups. Thank you for coming, and please do come again. And not forgetting, of course, that I have had my dear brother and colleague here talking about Segun Ojelade.
Thank you.
Good to have you on the program.
Thank you.
Let me thank John for calling from Abuja, and Jibril. Two of them called from Abuja. And this last call, I'm sorry I couldn't get to hear from you because I picked it didn't work. I also want to thank all the fellows over there that worked with me today and helped me work. There are many of you, I will not be able to remember to mention all the names, but let me try and say that I will remember to mention that there has been blissful capacity, and also there has been Emmanuel, that is Gabriel, Enojo, and I've had others too who have been there. I want to also thank the people in the editing department that also helped get me on and get things done. I want to thank you so much. Habib Okunola, thank you. I also want to thank Victor Chizea as well as Felix Akinjagula. On behalf of the producer, who happens to be the head of station, Ruben Okala, this is Okechukwu Onubogu. What am I saying? May the best happen to us all the time.
Amen.
Thank you. Hey.